Just do it. Am I in the picture? No.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of council. We have a couple of live councillors in our council chambers tonight, Councillor Tristan Yulin and Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. We also have joining us via Zoom, Councillor White, Councillor Tiller, Councillor Aylward, and Councillor Boland, along with our town manager, Mike Campbell, and our town clerk, Jennifer Bray. So Happy New Year, everybody. It is definitely Christmassy looking, even though the old day of Christmas, January 6th, is beyond us, but it's actually beautiful out in the town of Stephenville this evening after some fresh snow. I'm sure people that enjoy cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, or snowmobiling are pretty excited, but maybe not so much for people that got to shovel the driveway. So we'll try to attempt to keep our roads as good as possible, as safe as possible for our residents, through our public works department, as we roll through January, February, March, and maybe in April we'll see spring flowers. That's the hope. So at this time, I would like to call the meeting to order. It is 7:03. I would ask a member of council to move that we adopt the agenda as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, second by Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 2, it's been a while since we've had our last public meeting, but we had a couple of privilege meetings in addition to that. So December 9th, item number A, the approval of the minutes. These minutes were circulated via email to all members of council. I would ask somebody to approve a public meeting council minutes for December 9th, 2021.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. On December 14th, there was another privilege meeting of council. Those minutes were circulated. Item number B, I would ask somebody to move that that privilege meeting be accepted.
I move.
Moved by
Ira.
Ira, Councillor White, seconder.
Tracy.
Second by, Councillor Tristan beat you to the punch there, Tracy. That's he's live and you're via Zoom, so I think he's got to jump on you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried. Item number C is a privileged meeting of council, which was January 4th, 2022. I ask the councillor to move that those minutes be accepted as circulated.
So moved.
Moved by Councillor Lenny Tiller, seconder.
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. I'll say contramine just in case with the Zoom that there's no contramine there. Okay. Item number D is our last special meeting of council. It was December 14, 2021. That it be resolved that the town of Stephenville will provide a grant to the Stephenville Airport in the amount to reimburse Wasco for their November and December 2021 payments as part of the management contract to clue off that year. I would ask somebody to move that those minutes be adopted.
So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow, seconder.
I
Second.
second it. Tracy.
Second
Tracy.
by Councillor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contramine? All motion carried. Okay. Are there any matters arising from any one of those minutes? Item number A, B, C, or D? If there are no matters, we will move on. We have no proclamations and delegations. That's one area that with COVID over the last couple of years, we've seen less and less of that. We've done some electronically through our town clerk, but there's nothing there. Is there, Jennifer?
That is correct.
Okay. Okay, committee reports. I'm going to turn it over to 5.1, the Finance Committee, and turn it over to the Chair of Finance, Councillor Myra White.
Good evening, everyone. Item number 1, the accounts payable listing for December 2021. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the accounts payable listing for December 2021 in the amount of $249,652.10 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Contramine? Motion carried.
Number 2, expense check listing for December 2021. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the expense check listing for December 2021 in the amount of $329,262.11 be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councilor Laura Aylward. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contramine? Motion carried.
Item number 3 are business tax credit Christmas Adventure contest winners. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville approve the business tax credits for Christmas Adventure decorating contest winners. The first prize was Death Valley Inc., $3,000. Number 2 was Pizza Delight for $2,000. Number 3, Nixon Metals for $1,000. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
I second that. Okay.
And I think we got Lenny there first, Councilor Lenny Tiller. Before I call for the vote, I just want to say that I want to applaud everybody that participated in the Christmas Adventure this year. Especially the businesses we decided as a council to give a reward for the businesses that stood out. It was a group of under 16, was it under 16, Tracy, or under 18 girls?
Under 18.
Under 18. So it was a group, they had a scoring matrix, and it was done based on other communities and events. So we did a little bit of research, the committee did. But for the businesses, for our public works department that did a phenomenal job, to the Canadian military, our reserve unit here, C Company, to our town staff, to Marissa at Recreation, I can't say enough. It was probably the best event that Stephenville has ever seen on Main Street as a Christmas event. And it did get picked up by the media. It was aired on NTV News. And that pays dividends from a marketing perspective. So to Councillor Tracy, who took this on, Tracy Boland, to you and your committee, all of our staff, all of council that supported this, I got to say that it did my heart well to see it. It did the hearts of many citizens. But I got to say, I think the group that enjoyed it the most were the kids.
Oh, yeah.
On Main Street that night. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, and on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carried.
Item number 4, request for grant from the 36th annual RCMP Make-A-Wish Tree campaign. It was recommended, the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give a grant in the amount of $100 to the 36th annual RCMP Make-A-Wish Tree campaign. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Tracy, second it.
Second by Councilor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 5, approval to hire consultants for the fire chief recruitment. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville engage LW Consulting for the recruitment of a fire chief. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contramine? Motion carried.
Item number 6, approval for additional budget for the Christmas Adventure on Main Street. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville approve an additional funding in the amount of $5,428.29 for the Christmas Adventure on Main Street event. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councilor Laura. I'd just like to clarify on that amount. We knew that the budget was going to be $10,000 for the event plus the additional $6,000 for the winners. Now, we weren't sure if we were going to have winners, so that's why it was a late item coming in January. But full council was aware. So technically, the Christmas Adventure came in under budget by less than $500. But the good news is we still have a lot of inventory from those expenditures. So for example, we have 60 Christmas trees with white lights. I think that came in around $4,000. So maybe over the summer, we may do another event, you know, that we could utilize these trees, because trees lit up any time of the year looks absolutely beautiful, especially in dark zones or so forth. So
Or long ramp.
I just wanted to clarify that the committee was under budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 7, request for approval for Mike Tobin Memorial Scholarship. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville approve a yearly Mike Tobin Memorial Scholarship, the amount of $500 to the Stephenville High School. I so move.
Moved by
I-
Councilor White, second
Tracy.
by Councilor Tracy Boland. I'd just like to speak on that one too, just for a minute. We sure miss Mike. Mike was, you know, a legend here on the council table, spent so many years representing the community, played a big role in the Knights of Columbus in Stephenville, was an educator. And I believe some of the information that I did receive from his family and friends was, I think out of Joe Bat's arm on Fogo Island, Mike was probably the first person to receive a university degree, or the second person. I'm pretty well sure it may have been the first. So it's so fitting for us to have a scholarship in his honor for our Stephenville High School as part of the Scholarships and Awards Committee. So on that note, we want to thank his family for participating, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Item number 8, an award of the tender, Sand Truck and Blade. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville award the tender for the Sands Truck and Blade to the lowest bidder, Royal Freightliner, in the amount of $224,498 plus applicable taxes. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilor Lenny Tiller, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contramine? Motion carried.
Item number 9, it was the request for a grant from the Royal Canadian Legion Recruitment for Healthcare. It was the recommendation of the Finance Committee that the town of Stephenville give a grant in the amount of $86,000 to the Royal Canadian Legion to administer and deliver recruitment incentives, including a one-time payment of $50,000 for signing bonus and $36,000 for living expenses to recruit a surgeon for the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Myra White, seconder.
I second it. Tracy.
Second by Tracy Boland. I would just like to speak on that. We have been doing significant work as a council, working towards ensuring that our Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital 24-hour emergency hospital continues to operate with the complement of staff and services that we have today. We are not a community that's stepping backward, we're a community that's stepping forward. We had some really good meetings with Western Health's recruitment team. We also had some really good meetings with the Health Accord Committee, Sister Elizabeth Davis and Dr. Pathfrey. And clearly, we want to communicate that the Stephenville Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital is still going to be a hospital in the plans to have surgical, ICU, and the services that it has today. The greatest challenge today is the recruitment of physicians, nurses, specialists, anesthesiologists, internists, and so forth. But the highest position at the airport, at the hospital, because the airport's a big issue too for us here. But the big issue at the hospital is those emergency OR suites is exactly what they are. They're an emergency 24-hour OR suite. We're supposed to have 2 surgeons, 2 internists, And it's designed that way so that, you know, there's no one surgeon or one internist or one anesthesiologist that can work 24/7, 7 days a week and be on call. It's been challenging. We haven't seen our fair share of complement of staff, but we are stepping up to the plate as a council. And because with attraction of a new surgeon, which would be a 2 or 3 year contract through Western Health, what that does is ensures a whole complement of everybody else at the hospital. If you got no surgery, there's less demand on your anesthesiologist, on your internist, on the specialized skilled of RNs that are skilled to work in the OR room. So this is so important. We have the fiscal capacity to do it. I want to applaud everybody at this table that's supporting this initiative and management and staff. But remember, in healthcare, they often talk about a 60-minute rule. And that 60-minute rule is that if you have an acute appendicitis that might rupture, if you have an automobile accident and they happen too often, trauma happens. And you got 60 minutes when you're in serious trouble. So in Stephenville, we're a little fortunate, the hospital's in our town, but our hospital is a regional hospital for the whole Southwest Coast, for the regions of Portobas, Burgeo, Cape St. George, the Port-au-Port Peninsula. And I can't say enough or attention that we need to give to ensure that we step up to the plate. We challenge anybody that's trying to diminish any services that we have, and we will actually step up to the plate, and we swing the bat pretty good. So anybody wants to step in our way to downgrade services, they got a battle on their hands with us. So
Yeah.
I just say that, and if anybody would like to just speak on that, the floor is open before I call for the vote.
I think sometimes I just want to echo what you said, Tom. Sometimes you got to take matters into your own hand, and in this case, put our money where our mouth is, and we're showing that we're willing to take the initiative to keep what we have and to eventually expand as well. So, with doing this, it shows that we're serious. It shows that we're here for the residents, and it shows that we're ready to play ball if anyone tries to take anything from us.
Thank you very much for those comments, Councillor Tiller. Anything else? Okay, on that note, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't even want to call contra mine because I think it's everybody's unanimous on this one. So motion carried. Okay, so is there anything late on finance, Councillor White?
No, not at this time.
Okay, and nothing, Jennifer, Mike?
Nothing
Nope.
on my end.
Okay, I'll turn it over to our Chair of Planning and Traffic, Councilor Laura Aylward, for 5.2 Planning and Traffic Committee.
5.2. Okay, hello, everybody. Good
Hello.
evening. The first item I have here, I think it's right on my computer, and my printer leaves out a sentence or two every now and then, but anyway. It's 20 Tennessee Drive Regional Aquatic Center Association. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Okay. Request for permission to sign deed for land transfer located at 20 Tennessee Drive. Somebody saying something? It was a recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the mayor and town clerk be authorized to sign documents to transfer the land located at 20 Tennessee Drive to Regional Aquatic Center Association. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, seconder.
I'll second that.
Second by Lenny Tiller, Councilor Lenny Tiller, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
19 Green Drive, Simons Holdings Limited requests for permission to consolidate two parcels of land, 19 Green Drive and 20 Simon Drive, into one parcel of land to be named 19 Green Drive as per letter attached. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that this request be approved subject to compliance with all town regulations. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Laura Aylward, seconder.
Second.
Second by
I
Deputy Mayor
second.
Susan Fallow, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Contra mine, motion carried.
Last item, Advisory Committee, Accessibility Committee Terms of Reference. It was the recommendation of the Planning and Traffic Committee that the Accessibility Committee Terms of Reference be approved. I so move.
Moved by Councilor Lori Edwards, seconder.
I second.
I second it, Tracy.
And second by Councilor Tracy Boland. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion. Oh,
Okay,
Question?
motion carried. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I just want to say I really appreciate this item on our planning meeting. The leadership of Councilor Lenny Tiller on this file. And it's so important that we have such a balance in what we do as a council. From our community, all of our residents, for the environment, for our business community, just from recreation. It's such a balanced responsibility as a council. But to see this come forward and it reflects back to a year ago for Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow when Susan done work and brought forward the terms of reference for a Green Sustainability Committee. We started that last year, got a couple of projects going, Susan. And now Tristan, you're heading that one up, and it's the work of like the previous council that, you know, set the building blocks for that. So with this one, this is a big responsibility that our public works can work on to ensure that our accessibility, our bylaws, anything that we can do to make it safer and easier for people with disabilities. We do have an aging population, just that in itself. And we've heard the terrible news there last fall at the courthouse, where a senior over 80 fell and broke his hip because it's in a facility that's a provincially government facility that we've been working on, getting nowhere provincially. But we did have a good meeting with Minister Abbott. We have a follow-up coming up this month with him on that. But it's time for government to make a move on that one. But the role of this committee too is using this council as a catalyst and as a voice to move at the province to ensure that better accessibility happens. And good sidewalks with good egress and regress and the slopes and the degrees and all that. It's a real science to ensure that it's done proper. So I want to applaud Councillor Tiller on this one and to applaud this council as a whole. We support each other and we support the initiatives like this that's so important for our community. So on that note, I think we did all in favor, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Yes, we did. I just got so caught up into the sorry for that.
The emotion.
I'm emotional at times. Okay, anything late for planning, Laura or Jennifer?
Not that I know of.
I have nothing.
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 6, bylaws and regulations. I don't believe there's anything there, Jennifer.
That is correct.
Okay, any unfinished business? Anything you can reflect on, any councillors over anything that's unfinished? And if not, is there any new business that anybody would like to speak on? No, I'd just like to bring up under unfinished business, I would say more unfinished than new business, but the airport file, we did a story tonight on CBC, Carl Diamond and myself, and quotes from the chair of the board, Trevor Murphy. So basically where it's at is the announcement was made in September 9th for the plans of the Diamond Group. And they have a binding agreement with the airport board in writing that's been vetted and done through all the lawyers from both sides that after the due diligence, purchase and sale agreement gets completed based on the terms of that binding agreement. The board votes on it and the deal happens. So that's the goal for me as a council, and I'm sure for the board and for the community. Our airport has struggled. We have not received provincial and federal support like we should have had. We've always had it from a municipal perspective. but it's not enough. And we've been struggling. We've been using taxpayers' money to keep those 40 jobs down there, which was very important for past councils and this council. That airport now is playing a critical role in attracting business to our town. The provincial government just announced a new green sustainable energy plan, finally.
Excellent.
So possibly wind energy, which the DNA for wind is the best here in the Stephenville Port-au-Port region for the province. So there's some big players involved with government on that one. I believe it was precipitated by the Premier attending the Edinburgh conference on renewable energy and where the world is heading. And if this energy deal happens, it'll be the first offshore wind project in Canada. That's the scale of it. So, but it will play a critical role on the airport. So the aerospace deal for the Diamond Group is important. The port's alignment and connectivity with the airport is critically important. The last time there was a significant change in aerospace was about 70 years ago, 60, 70 years ago in the 50s when the jet age happened. Now it's drones in space and satellites. And now that infrastructure that we have, and remember, you can go around this globe, there's only 6 places on the planet that got deep sea harbors and international ICAO class airport that are connected. And the closest one to us is Seattle, Washington. That's a big statement. So the due diligence is completed, everything went well. Couple of like due diligence is more on the part of the buyer, not the owner. We're selling a liability technically, an airport that's not profitable. Or we're not, the airport board is. But the Diamond Group has to ensure that everything is covered off, and that's why they're a legal team. And there's no doubt COVID has slowed everything down. It stopped us from building a $500,000 playground by a year, by doing a bridge on by McDonald's for a year. But now the purchase sale agreement is being worked on to be voted on. But like there was even a couple of things in the due diligence back, 20 years ago, the airport went into bankruptcy protection. It never went bankrupt, it just went into a protection clause. But that sat there and it never got clued up by the board.
Yeah.
That was uncovered. That had to be clued up. Negotiations with Transport Canada had to be worked on. There was even liens on the airport from Kubota because there was a lease on a Kubota tractor. So that's what due diligence is.
Yeah.
You can't rush it. You can't go buy a car in a day anymore. It might take a week to buy a car. There's a lot of paperwork. And this is a big, big account. This is a big commercial account. So I wish the board and Carl Diamond and his group of companies all the best to conclude this agreement, hopefully by the end of this month. He's saying today on his interview, a week and a half to 2 weeks. So let's stay behind the airport board. Let's stay behind the Diamond Group. And if this happens, you can rest assured other levels of government and regions and communities in Western Newfoundland will be behind this because everybody will win.
Yeah.
So on that note, anything else?
I don't know if this falls under new business. It's just more of a general statement. Just to remind our residents to, we are back at alert level 4, which looks much different than last year. It's more like a alert level 3 from a year ago. So the importance of supporting our local businesses, first and foremost, they're still open. They're still there. I had breakfast last Sunday at a local restaurant. There was only me and one other person in there, and it's usually a very busy spot. And they said it was like that for 4 or 5 days. And just people not knowing that things are open for dine-in services at a reduced capacity or even takeout. It's our businesses have struggled so much in the past 20 to 23 months, and they're really falling in the middle of all these mandates and lockdowns. And I think it's going to be very important as a community and as a council that we support our local business as much as possible. And the second note is just to be kind. If you go through social media or you just hear talk in town, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all one. We all make decisions based on what we feel is best for our own health. And on behalf of myself, I just want to remind everyone to be kind, to be caring. We're all in a situation none of us want to be in, but we're in it for the indefinite future. So if we could just be kind to each other and be nice and be empathetic to everyone's situation, I think we're going to be much better off in the end.
Yeah, well stated, Councillor Tiller. And let's hope that the modeling that Dr. Proton unveiled, that's going to show that Omicron came up fast, it's going to drop off fast. And let's come home year for this town and this province is going to be a great year for everybody. So we can get back to, even if it's a new normal, it'll be called normal.
That's right.
Exactly.
So on that note, if there's nothing else, I would ask Councillor to move that we adjourn the meeting.
Move.
Moved by Councillor Tristan Yulin. Can I get a seconder from Councillor Laurie Elward?
Yes, second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Well.
Tracy, can you
Okay.
be more emphatic with that? No.
Is that really that loud?